Hello, Facebook. How are we doing today? Happy Hump Day. Today is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. How is everyone? Let me give it just a minute and see if anybody hops on. Let's see here. I'm going to have to work on these settings in this live. I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have a question for you. Do you know someone who constantly complains about the same thing over and over? And here's another question for you. How many of you know someone who is always asking for advice but never takes it? They'll agree with whatever they're told, whoever gives them good advice, but they either don't do anything at all or they do the exact opposite of the advice. In those situations, there's one of two things going on. Either some people aren't happy unless they're miserable and are making everyone around them miserable too. They have an excuse and a problem for every solution. So that's the first scenario. These people are toxic and you need to avoid them, especially if you're trying to focus on bringing positivity into your life, because they will suck it right out of you if you let them. And unfortunately, there are people that are like that. They're not happy unless they're miserable, and everybody else is miserable too. So the second instance is that they lack decisiveness, which is the ability to make decisions quickly and effectively. So that is today's word, decisiveness. These people might take a really long time to make a decision about something, or they might change their mind repeatedly. Being wishy-washy can be a huge hindrance to things like change, determination, dedication, and setting and achieving your goals. You have to be able to make decisions and follow through with them if you're going to accomplish what you've set out to do. So if you find that you're indecisive and you feel like you're just spinning your wheels and getting nowhere, there are some steps you can take to work on your decisiveness. The first one, the first reference that I am going to talk about, I will link in the comments. It's an article from Psychology Today, and I know I use that one a lot, but that's a reputable source. That's why I use it. The article is entitled Decisiveness, the Fresh New Key to Success, and it's written by Vicki Stark, who is a psychotherapist. She has a pretty impressive bio. You can click on her picture on that article and it'll take you to her bio. She uses a 4-step process in decision making. So the first one is describe the problem in a sentence or two. And she stops there for just a minute, but I'm adding myself. Don't overcomplicate it or add a bunch of extra stuff to it. The only thing that you want to do with this is figure out what the problem is. So just describe it in a sentence or two. Hey Robert, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. The example that she used is, should I buy the black handbag or the beige one? Now for the guys watching this, you can substitute a tool. Should I buy this tool or that tool? Car, whatever. The principle is still the same. What is the problem that you're trying to solve? Number 2, outline your options. So her example on this is that the black handbag will go with more things, but beige is fresher for spring. Of course, that's talking to the ladies. As for the guys, you know, your options for stacking up your garage with tools. You could do this or you could do that. Number 3, be decisive. And her example here is, I'm getting the beige. It makes me feel happier. So you have to, after you outline your options, make that decision. And then number 4, once you've made your decision, move on. Don't revisit it. You're done. You've decided what you're going to do. So just do it and get on with your life. She states that people say that they're confused when they actually know exactly what they want. They just don't like the consequences that they know are going to follow. So they get stuck. And they don't make a decision because of that. In your heart of hearts, you know what is right and what is wrong. You know what the right decision is for whatever situation you're in. I also liked an article that I'll also link. It's entitled Being Decisive by Brett and Kate McKay. It's on a website called Art of Manliness. So the guys should get a kick out of this one. They refer to things like a soldier being under the command of an officer who doesn't know what to do in a crisis. And how an indecisive man is fooling himself by thinking that as long as he doesn't make a decision, he'll stay safe in his current situation. And so they also give 4 steps to make a good decision. The first one is get as much information as possible. Don't wait for it to come to you. Actively seek it out. Look at all of your options. Number 2, make a list of pros and cons. And that might seem like a childish thing to do, but it really can be helpful to actually see it on paper. Exactly what the good is and exactly what the bad would be for making a certain decision. The third suggestion, imagine yourself down each road. Find a quiet spot and really try to focus on what the outcome would be for each decision. So actually picture yourself in the situation and see how that would that make you happy with if you made a certain decision, or would it make you upset? And then the last one, think about past decisions. Don't get into the habit of repeating past mistakes. If a decision that you made in the past didn't work, don't do it the same way again, because you already know it isn't going to work. And then I'm going to link one more source because I really like what this guy says. The website's called Embrace Possibility, and the blog article is entitled How to Become More Decisive by Robert Chin. And I'm quoting him here. This is what he says. Decisiveness is directly correlated to how well you know yourself and how often you take time to self-reflect. When you clearly know where you stand, it is hard not to be decisive. So if you know your stance on certain situations, then you've already made that decision. You know what you're going to do. Just like with every word I've featured so far, if you don't like or relate to the links that I'm going to post, Google the phrase, how to improve decisiveness, or how can you develop your decisiveness, and look for something you can relate to. There are a bunch of them. If you're unable to make decisions, it's something that you can improve. You just have to take action and work on it. Right now, someone in your life is calling all the shots. and they're completely in control of everything. If it isn't you, it should be, because it's your life. And if it isn't you, then you need to start working on trying to fix that. Making decisions is not a bad thing. So that's going to be it for today. Like I said, when I go back downstairs, I will link those articles, and then you can look up some more if you don't relate to those. But remember, you're a role model to someone you know, so be a good one. I'll see you all tomorrow, and thanks for watching.